Hi, Monique Head here, relationship coach to passionate, marriage-minded women of faith, and I teach women like you skills that generates attraction, sparks desire and generosity, and respect and devotion, and really inspires commitment. And so today I want to talk about why you're really guarded. I want to share with you what I believe is the truth behind your mistrust. And if you're a woman over 25, it's a high probability that you have been blindsided, you've been hurt by love, you have experienced some pain. And so, typically, if you're a young woman, sometimes you can be like, look, okay, whatever, bye, I'll get on to the next one. But as you get older, it's more difficult to get back on that horse. And so this message is for the woman who feels as though she really can't recover. And it's very, very difficult for you to kind of let your guard down and to really allow yourself to be seen and be vulnerable. And so the truth is that if you have been blindsided, if you have experienced pain, it's not that you don't trust men. It's not that you don't trust the next man or the man after them, right? It's the truth. The truth is that you don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself because you don't trust that you can recover quickly enough. And you don't trust that you can choose wisely enough. You don't trust that if some poor, bad information was revealed to you, that you would leave, that you would have the confidence to go. You don't trust that about yourself. And I share that because I have intimate experience, I shared the story with my community before, but, I remember studying for the bar exam and needing a computer to be able to download software to be able to take this test. And so there was, I had just ended a relationship, a 3.5-year relationship with a, wonderful man, but he wasn't the one for me. And I met someone that I thought that I could, who sparked my interest, I should say. And it was a fairly new, it wasn't a relationship yet. It was like we were talking. That's what we call it. That's what Black women call it. We don't date, we talk. So we were talking for about a couple of months. Let's say I met him in December, like 2 months. So it was still new. And he shared with me that I could borrow his computer. And when I went to go get that computer, I knocked on the window because I saw that the light was on and he didn't come to the door. And then I peeped through the window because, I had to know what was going on. Why you're not coming to the door? So I peeped through the window and I saw that there was a purse there and there was a woman there. And they were sitting on the couch and I couldn't make out what they were doing. I know they weren't having sex, but I wasn't really sure. And I needed to know what was going on, right? Because if you're watching this and you're a mom, you are a working woman, you like to have some sequence and order that creates safety and security within our hearts, right? So women like us have a need to know what's coming next. And so because we weren't in a relationship, I wasn't really sure what to do. I was like, oh, do I leave or do I case the joint? So I ended up leaving. And then to make a long story short, I didn't know what to do from that moment. I was shook and I was thinking like, oh my goodness, I don't need this in my life right now. And stuff like this doesn't happen to me, right? This happens to those other women maybe who don't know any better because I prided myself on being a good man picker, right? I'm a good selector of men and I'm a good character. I'm a good judgment or assessor of character, right? Because I'm a very highly perceiving, intuitive woman. And so I was like, I didn't foresee this coming, right? I didn't foresee it coming and I didn't know what to do. So that shook me up and I was like, whoa, maybe my picker is off. Maybe I don't know how to choose wisely anymore. Can I trust this man going forward? What is going to happen? All of this stuff in my head, right? To the point where I was like checking phones and peeping through windows and doing all of this stuff just so that I could have a sense of knowing what was coming next. Okay, and that doesn't serve women like us. That does not serve the woman who wants to operate and has a desire to operate in her feminine allure. Okay, so here's what you can do. Here's what you can do. Number one is that you know that you can't change men, right? And if you ask questions, you're just going to ask questions to death because you may get what you want, you may not get what you want. The truth is that the solution is that you have to change yourself. And you have to decide what's the standard that you want to live in, okay? And be guided by that standard. Allow that to dictate your decision making and how you're going to show up in the world, how you're going to show up and operate more in your feminine allure so that you can actually be the woman who gets everything that she wants. Okay. And for me, that meant that, when I was going through phones and when I found some information that was not, that was counter to what I thought that I knew, meaning that let me just be real, if I found a picture of a woman in the phone, took me out the game. And I was like, what? Don't let me leave it go there now. But I I blamed, I held it over his head. I wanted to know, who is this woman? What's going on? Da, 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 da. Like all of this other stuff. And rather than just kind of making a decision in that moment, I put the onus on him to satisfy my need rather than taking responsibility for how I wanted to feel, how I chose to respond to that situation. Does that make sense? I hope so. Right? So that's my solution to you. That's the antidote is to decide what's the standard that you want to live in and live in that standard. Be guided by that standard. Because when you do, you'll begin to trust your body more. You'll begin to trust yourself more, right? And you can trust how to discern how you want to show up in situations. Is this person trustworthy, or does this person not make me feel safe? Okay, so that's really the truth behind it, because what will happen is that if you are not guided by your own standards, if you don't identify the standards that you want to live in and allow yourself to be guided by that, what's going to happen is that you're going to meet men and you're going to be all guarded like this and have your arms crossed and folded and just seeing if he has what it takes to bust down your wall and break down that wall of reserve. And that's not fair, because that's not going to get you what you want, right? You cheat yourself, really. You cheat yourself out of a wonderful opportunity to be loved and to be cared for. And you also rob that man of the pleasure, really getting to know you, because you're trying to see if he got what it takes. You're testing him. But it's time for you to really assess yourself. The scripture talks about you have to self-examine. You want to examine yourself, okay? So I hope this information served you well. If it hasn't, if you want to learn more about the standard that you want to live in, right, I want to invite you to a complimentary video series. You can click on the link below. It's called Be the Woman Who Gets Everything That She Wants, Especially for Men. It's a 3-part video training series where I discuss more about this and give you some solutions for how you can be that woman, right? Come out of your mind, get more into your heart, be the woman who is just so alluring, okay? My name is Monique Head, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.